Hey traders, this is Ron Haidt at Market Tamer. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys had a fantastic day. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risk, and the specific financial issue should always be addressed with your financial advisor. We'll kick off here with the S&P ETF. The spiders up about 0.5% today. We're inching closer to the 50-day SMA in orange, which is an institutional moving average. We also have the 5 and 20-day EMA crossover, 5-day in blue, 20-day in red. That's a little mini buy signal. If I zoom out here a little bit further, you'll see we are, like I said yesterday, into this previous supply zone or support zone, which is now overhead supply. And then we have the overhead supply from the lows just from back in October and November. That should put a lid on the rally for the near term. If we cut right up through there, like a hot knife through butter, that is really bullish. But I have a feeling it's going to put a little ceiling on the optimism right now. Looking at the Qs are also coming into the 50-day SMA. They're even closer. In fact, the 50 days at 162, we're at 160. It's about $1.30 away. Then we're going to hit resistance. So basically exactly like today, about a 0.8% rise. And then we're going to hit that major institutional moving average. The IWM, which is the Russell 2000, up 0.83%. It's also coming into its 50-day SMA. Again, that is coinciding with the previous lows where the bottom fell out. And if we can get up through there, that's going to be somewhat bullish, but then the next target is the 200-day. Let's see how these indexes react when they hit their 50-day. So short term, we're above the 5-day and the 20-day. The bulls have the edge, but now we're coming into something a little bigger, the big time 50-day SMA. Here's NVDA. The CES conference is going on in Vegas. We're not getting much of a bounce here. It is flirting with the 20-day EMA, but I'd really like to see it get above the 50-day before I could turn somewhat bullish on this one, technically. And then here's Advanced Micro. Also, they had some news today, but they're down a little bit, down 2.7%. They're maintaining themselves above the 50-day in orange. That is bullish, targets the previous high. So even though it was down today, it's still above its 50-day, and it's 5 and 20 days too, for that matter. Here is Faceplant. It got above the 50-day SMA, 2 straight days. Making progress here. That's good. We still haven't taken out the previous high, interesting, and volume, I would call that lackluster or pathetic. Not good at all. But if I was bullish on Facebook, some things I could potentially consider, maybe use a 20-day EMA, which is the red line, as a potential trailing stop, and if we close below it, maybe that's the point. I just cut my losses and say move on. Bull puts could be down here, 125 or lower, since that was a support level. But also keep in mind, Facebook's going to have earnings. Last year they had earnings the end of January, which would be about 3 weeks away, and then we'll be at the end of January. So earnings is coming. If I did a bull put before earnings, I would want it to expire prior to earnings. You just don't know what the company may report. It could go up or down here. Now you want to take a look at a stock that got absolutely taken out behind the woodshed again. Constellation Brands on earnings down 12+%. Volume, that would classify as epic for a stock like this. I mean, the day before was around 4 million. We just 4x'd it, 16.9 million. If I go back on a 10-year monthly, every candle is a month. We're coming into support now, right around 150. If I make this a 5-year weekly, you can also see we're coming into support. We're basically a buck or so away. The point is, whether it's a weekly chart, a monthly chart, and if I go back to the monthly, if you're in Constellation, this is bad news. If we break 150, the next major consolidation was back around 80 or so, 85. Then there's a 200 period, and then it's something down here. I'm not saying it's going to get there, but man, oh man, it is not looking pretty right now. We could bring some fibs or something in here and see where it might go on a monthly or weekly level, but frankly, just keep an eye at 150. And if you want to go a little lower, maybe go 148, 147. That's again bad news on a closing basis. So keep an eye on that. Here is a stock. Let's take a look at ON on semiconductor. They're seasonally bullish this time of year. 1 year daily. They've had a nice long downtrend. We talked about them getting above the 50-day. They came back down, retested the lows, just like the market. And today we had a nice volume pop. Immediate upside target's 19. 7-8% higher or so. But then it's the 200-day, $17.81 stock with the big target of the 200-day in purple. It's not a bad move, 10+%. And something else that came across my radar is EDU, New Oriental Education. The volume is lackluster, not as good as ON, but we just broke out above previous highs. The target's going to be a gap fill up around 70, 10% higher, frankly. So 70, 75, and then the 200-day. I would also consider a 20-day EMA as an end-of-day trailing stop right now. This is creating basically, if I draw this for you, here to here, and then from here to here. We sort of have like basically like a wedge type pattern, and now we're getting a break. I just wish volume was bigger, but this one also looks interesting from the bullish side. And just a heads up, we literally crashed the webinar room today. We exceeded the maximum attendance. It went bonkers, and more folks somehow were just able to keep registering. So there are a lot of people that got locked out from that event that we held today, which were the hottest stocks for 2019. I'm going to get another webinar together. Please keep your eyes open for the invite. I didn't have time to get ready tonight yet. I got to prepare it all, make sure we're good to go, but I'm thinking we're going to do it maybe Saturday. So keep an eye out for it. We'll do a second chance to give everybody an opportunity to get in because there were way too many people. We were getting inundated with emails, folks saying I could not get in. So we literally crashed the webinar event. It was so popular. So we'll talk about some of those stocks that were set to soar that I mentioned last month that were soaring the start of this month, right on schedule. All right, so thanks for all your interest in that. I hope you find these videos helpful, and I'll be back with you guys tomorrow in the next video. Take good care. Bye-bye.